If you're tired of tossing and turning, starting your day feeling rushed, and ending your day feeling unfulfilled, then this episode is for you. Your life today is a sum of your habits. Your morning productivity starts the night before. When you sleep better, you wake up focused, and you get more done. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing my quick 4-step night routine that I promise you've never heard before because it's my secret beautiful, amazing formula to an amazing night routine so that you can wake up clearer, get more done, and of course, do it in a peaceful manner. Welcome back to the Fire Inside podcast. I am so glad that you are here. I'm your host, Sade Kelly. I know that there's a fire in your heart and ambition in your soul. You know that you want to do something different. You know that you need to make a change, and you're just trying to figure out how you can do it with more ease. That is what we tackle in this podcast. All things personal development, leveling up to your highest self, time management, and figuring out how you can live your best possible life and do it on your own terms. And if you don't know me, I'm Sade Kelly, time management coach, wife, and mom who loves helping people reclaim their time so that they can manage their work, their wellness, and relationships peacefully. What if I told you there was a magic vitamin that could heal your body, regulate your emotions, improve your mood, recharge your mind, boost your creativity and your productivity, strengthen your immune system, help you live longer, and it only took 8 hours to work? Would you take it? Would you be interested in that? Would you be like, heck yeah, why haven't I heard of this already? Well, you have. This is what a good night's sleep leads you to have, right? It all starts with sleep. That is how you're able to improve your mood, get more done, feel better. It's just sleep. And I know for some of us, if you're anything like me and you have a baby, it can be hard to get sleep, but it is possible to sleep train your kids. Look into Moms on Call or Taking Care of Babies. If you haven't heard of them, you're welcome. It's going to change your life. So funny. I actually just helped a woman. I reminded her of these resources because she has 2 toddlers and she was saying that she was getting like 4 hours of sleep. And when she implemented the shifts that they talk about in Moms on Call, which they have amazing resources, she was able to start getting 7 hours of sleep again. And she said she finally started to feel like herself again and spend her mornings the way she wants. So these things truly work. So I don't want you to make the excuse of, I have a baby and I can't get that much sleep. You absolutely can. Figure it out. I mean, unless you're in the newborn trenches, for the most part, if your baby is over at least 4 or 5 months, you are going to be able to regulate your sleep and get better sleep for yourself, because that is something you need to prioritize, because you cannot have amazing night routine and you can't even have productive days without first prioritizing your sleep and making sure that you're getting adequate rest. So why do night routines matter in the first place? Of course, you know, I got to come with the science. A good night routine helps you to signal to your brain that the day is done. It actually helps you differentiate between your daytime and your work time and your nighttime and your evening relaxation time. Having that buffer in a night routine is going to help you to be able to differentiate between the different times of your day. It also helps you to clear mental and physical tension that you have throughout the day. It gives your brain at least 2 hours that it needs to cool down before you can have amazing deep sleep. So if you're someone who's working up until the minute you need to go to bed, I want you to no longer do that. It is not aiding you to have better sleep. It may feel like you're more productive and getting more done, but you're really just burning the midnight oil, affecting your health really negatively, putting yourself in a stress and tensionful place and keeping yourself there throughout your sleep, right? So if you want to improve your sleep quality and your duration, you're going to want to have a night routine because it sets you up for a better focus, a better mood, and a more productive day, and just overall happier day, better mood, better quality of life. I promise you, sleep is so important. I even worked with a client who had sleep apnea, and just by switching his routines, he was able to get more sleep. I mean, before we started working together, I think he said he got like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. And then once he was able to not only get help from his doctor for his sleep apnea, but also piggyback with our routines that we put into place for him when we were working together, he was able to start getting like 5 or 6 hours, which was like amazing to him because he hadn't gotten that in years, y'all. Years. Can you imagine functioning off little bits of sleep like that? He just thought that was going to be his life. So if you're someone like that and you maybe have sleep apnea or you have insomnia, there are ways to make shifts in your routine in addition to things your doctors will give you or prescribe to you to help you get better sleep. But that is something you absolutely need to be prioritizing. We all need quality sleep. And I will say that we all need at least 6 hours of sleep. It varies for adults. I like to say between 7 and 9 is amazing. Like depending on like the week for me, I may need more, but I always like to get at least 7 and 9. I always do my best when I'm able to get that. And whether it's from getting some naps in or preferably it's through one full night's sleep. So let's get into my simple 4-step routine. I call it the wrap your day up routine, and wrap is an acronym, and I'm going to go through each of the letters and what they actually mean and how you can implement this for yourself. So the first part of this framework is W for winding down. And this is where you're going to celebrate your workday with your evening activities. So I want you to make sure that you're giving your body and your mind permission to rest and giving yourself that 2 hours of a wind down right before you go to sleep so you can have better quality sleep. And what this looks like is you shifting from work mode into night mode, calm mode, dim the lights, play music, light a candle, do something fun, watch TV, watch YouTube, whatever it is that you like to do. Maybe it's cooking a meal. Find a wind down activity. I know for one of my friends, she says she really likes to do puzzles. If that's your thing, go ahead and do a puzzle. It's funny because we were at her house a couple weekends ago and my son just completely flipped her puzzle upside down. It's not funny, but it was a little funny. But figure out whatever your wind down activity is going to be. It should be something that's fun. It should be something that's, of course, on your calendar. If you listen to my podcast, you know it better be in your calendar. But make sure that you are just figuring out different things that you can do to mix it up. For me, sometimes I like to color. Sometimes I like to cook. Sometimes I like to watch a certain show. Sometimes I like to talk on the phone with my mom or someone else in my family or one of my friends. Or I like to go for a walk, or maybe I like to attend a class or go to the movies. Like find something that you like to do that can kind of wind you down and break up your routine and break up your work time from your nighttime routine. And if you can do it with your partner or do it with your family, that is even better because then you're now having more connection time, but then you're also doing something that winds you down. So figure out whatever that is going to be for you, but pick an activity and put it in your calendar. Because if you're anything like me, if you don't put in these things, they typically don't happen. And also you tend to work a little bit longer than you'd like. I know for me, when I first started working in my business full time, it was really hard for me to differentiate between like when I used to work during the day at my advertising job and then I would come home and work on my business and I'll have a sliver of wind down time. But now I'm able to have more wind down time. So I had to make sure I put in fun things to break up the day to remind me to do something fun. No matter what you have going on in your life, whether you are managing a business on the side, a family, whatever it is you're doing outside of your work hours, please make sure that you are doing something fun for yourself every single day, even if it's for 20 minutes. You have 20 minutes somewhere in your day. Actually, you probably have 4 hours of your day you could be utilizing better. And I'm that coach who finds 4 hours in everyone's day because I promise you, you have it. If you're interested in finding 4 hours in your day, book a time audit with me. That link is always in the show notes. The R is for reflect on your day. So some questions I would ask myself every single day is, what went well today? What didn't go so well that I would like to improve for the next day? What are some things I'm grateful for that happened today? What are some things that I loved about today? Like really spend some time to think about, how did today go? Where did you kill it and do really well in your work and your personal life? And where do you want to improve? Whatever the questions are that work best for you, ask yourself those questions and say them out loud to yourself, say them out loud to your partner or someone else that you trust, or maybe accountability partner, or write them in a journal, voice note them, whatever it is you like to do to release. But just make sure you are having some time to reflect on your day so that you don't just have these lingering thoughts all the time. And you also don't get into this place where you feel like you're not getting anything done or you're not making progress because you're just not reflecting. Sometimes we just need to sit down and think about what we actually did. And then we realize, oh, wow, I'm actually killing it. I see this all the time with clients. I had a client who would get so many things done a day and then she would say, oh, I'm getting all these things done, but I don't feel fulfilled. And it was like, yeah, because you're not reflecting and you're not making sure that what you're getting done actually aligns with what you're trying to achieve. And when we finally got her to sit down and reflect in her night routine, it boosted her mood. It helped her feel more grateful. It helped her feel more excited about what she was doing. It just overall helped her have a better well-being. So I promise you, don't skip this. I know everyone's going to want to do the wind down activity. That's the fun part. Also do this reflection. I promise you, even if it's just for 5 minutes, you're going to love reflecting. The A stands for avoid screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Now, I will tell every and anyone that I come in contact with, that blue light on your screens, whether it's your phone screen, your iPad, your Kindle, your laptop, and I have to name all the things because I once had a client who I said, you got to stop being on your phone 30 minutes before bed, and she decided, okay, so I'm going to be on my iPad instead. No, honey, that's not what we're doing. We're getting away from all screens because the blue light is basically like the sun, right? That's how our body registers it. So the sun wakes you up and keeps you awake. You don't want the screens to wake you up and keep you awake. If you're someone who believes they need a TV to go to sleep, get a white noise machine instead. You don't actually need the TV. Maybe a white noise machine, or at least playing white noise on the TV with the screen dimmed down, can help you much better to get better quality sleep. So whatever you got to do, make sure you get things turned off at least 30 minutes before bed. And instead of scrolling in your bed, read, stretch, meditate, pray, spend some time with your partner, whatever it is that you enjoy. Listen to an audiobook. Just 6 minutes of reading can reduce stress by 68%. It literally eases the tension of stress in your body and calms down your nerves, helping you to be able to fall right asleep. So make sure you are also getting in bed at least 30 minutes before the time you want to go to sleep. Now, bonus points if you get into bed like an hour earlier, because I think an hour really gives you even more time to wind down. But 30 minutes also is really good, especially if you want to go to sleep by a certain time. Like, for instance, I have clients who are like, I want to be in bed and asleep by 11. Then that doesn't mean you crawl into bed at 10:59 or that you're brushing your teeth at 10:58. Right? That means that you are upstairs in your room doing what you got to do maybe around 10:15, and you're in bed by 10:30 so that you can be wind down doing your activity instead of being on your screens. Like, activity being like reading, stretching, meditating, whatever it is that you're choosing to do. And then you're going to be falling asleep by 11 o'clock. Like, you really should not know what time you're falling asleep because you should be in bed winding down and then knocking out, and not just like doing things that keep you up. Right? That is the point of making sure you're off your screens, is to do something that's going to relax you and get you to fall right asleep. If you're not someone who knocks out right away, or you may need more lead time, maybe you need to get into bed or get upstairs into your room atmosphere an hour or 2 hours before. It's really going to depend on your personality. You will know that best. And you just got to pick and commit to it. For me, I actually put it on my calendar. No surprise there, right, you guys? But I put it on my calendar to go upstairs because I'm someone who likes to be downstairs, cleaning up, doing things, watching stuff on the phone, maybe doing something. And then I realized, oh my gosh, like I need to go upstairs at least an hour before I want to go to sleep so that I can make sure I'm off those screens 30 minutes before I go to sleep. And then I'm winding down and then off to bed the time I want to go to bed. And I have to time it really good because my son goes to sleep at a certain time and I know he's going to wake up at that early time in the morning, and I want to make sure that I'm also gotten the 7-8 hours that I'm allowing myself, because he's sleeping a good like 10 to 12 hours at night, so I really have no excuse. And then the P is for prepare for the next day. So you want to make sure that you are reviewing tomorrow's schedule and top priorities before you go to sleep, so that you make sure you are going to sleep with a plan so you can wake up with a purpose. Make sure you are laying out your clothes if you know you're leaving for the next day. If you're someone who tends to commute, you may want to lay out your clothes. For me, I don't typically lay out my clothes. I don't really need to do that, but maybe I'll lay out like my gym clothes. But it's usually quick outfits throughout the day. I mean, I work from home, so it's pretty simple. But I do like to like pack my bag if I'm going out for the next day, or I like to prep my meals. I make it really easy to have everything I know I'm going to be eating for me and my son and my husband. Like, everything is prepped. I also like to make sure my space is tidied up. I just know that having physical clutter leads to mental clutter, and you don't need that. Keep your space tidy. Even if it is just 5 or 10 minutes to tidy at the end of the night, it might not be perfect. It might be as clean as you'd want, but make sure you get into a habit of tidying things up, because it helps you be prepared for the next day. And it reduces decision fatigue when you're making a lot more decisions at night and prepping everything you need in the morning. It can even come down to like, I know I'm going to be making my eggs in the morning or whatever I'm making for breakfast. I'll put the pan out. I'll have my tea out. I have the water kettle ready. Like, whatever it is to make it easy, where when I wake up, I have everything I need. Because one thing I like to do is as soon as I wake up is I like to drink my water. So if my water is not next to me at night, it's going to be a problem. So that's a part of my night routine where I have that out. I also like to put out my mat so that I can stretch in the morning. Like, whatever it is that you like to make sure you're doing your routine in the morning, prep for it the night before so you can feel prepared and you have things to make it way easier in the morning, especially if you're not a morning person and you don't wake up like rah rah with a bunch of energy, because that is not me. So I like to make my morning as smooth, easeful, and slow as it can be. So I love this nighttime routine system. I actually made this myself. So you will not find this anywhere on the internet, but I promise you it has worked for hundreds of my clients. It works for me. And this framework is going to help you to be able to get better quality sleep, be more productive throughout your days, and just feel more together, especially in the nighttime. Because a lot of people talk about morning routines, but they don't talk about how important it is to start your morning the night before. You're going to be ahead of the game when you implement a night routine like this. So if you are someone who's struggling with managing your routines, you're feeling behind, rushed, or scattered when you wake up, then it may be time for a time audit. If you haven't booked your time audit yet, go ahead and book it in the show notes. I would love to help you find 4 more hours in your day and achieve your goals 6 times faster. And just make sure that you're living a more peaceful life. I hope that this wrap method was really, really helpful for you and that you feel better tomorrow when you implement this tonight. I really hope that this routine also helps you to no longer feel like you don't have it together at night, and that your evenings reflect the life that you are building and the person that you are becoming. If this episode helped you, of course, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this episode with someone you know needs a better nighttime routine, or at least someone you know would benefit from this and would actually enjoy this content. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here every single week, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing night implementing this wrap method, and let me know how it works out for you. I love hearing about your testimonials around how you switched this one thing, or you tried this one thing, or you listened to this podcast and it made everything click for you. I love hearing those things. So make sure to comment below or shoot me a DM on Instagram because I'd love to hear from you. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.